Hidden deep in the sun-drenched, palm-lined streets of Palm Beach, Florida, lies a mansion whose legacy has been cloaked in mystery, whispers, and power for almost a century. A place that, for decades, served as a residence to the rich and powerful, but still remains enigmatic in many ways. Welcome to Mar-a-Lago, a mansion steeped in history, intrigue, and tales of influence. From the azure golden age of the Gilded Ages to the modern day, this property has seen it all. Mar-a-Lago, whose name translates to sea to lake in Spanish, has lived up to its namesake, lying between the Atlantic Ocean on one side and Lake Worth on the other. A 17-acre oasis nestled among the tropical foliage, this estate has witnessed as political deals, celebrity scandals, and as world-changing events. But the mystery behind Mar-a-Lago isn't just confined to the monumental structure that stands tall on its sprawling grounds. The gauze origins of the mansion itself have been shrouded in whispers, intrigue, and secrecy from the very beginning. Why was it built? Who was the visionary behind it? What hidden agendas or unspoken desires led to the creation of a mansion so large, so opulent, and so influential? And why has its story been kept from the public eye for so long? 2. The vision of Marjorie Merriweather Post. In 1924, as a woman known for her wealth beauties, and as influencee embarked on the construction of what would become one of the most extravagant and symbolic estates in America. Marjorie Merriweather Post, the heir to the Postum cereal company fortune, was no ordinary socialite. She was a woman of vision, with a determination to create a legacy that would endure for generations. Marjorie's decision to build Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach was not just a move to construct a luxurious winter home for herself and her family. The grandiosity of the project reflected her personal ambition and desire to carve her place among the most powerful. In Palm Beach, it was an emerging enclave for the wealthy and influential, an ideal setting for someone like Marjorie, who was accustomed to the world of political power and aristocratic living. But Marjorie's vision was about more than just wealth. It was about saz and mortality, and a desire to create something that would live on beyond her lifetime. 2. The architect's hand, Marion Sims Wyeth. To realize her grand vision, Marjorie enlisted the services of renowned architect Marion Sims Wyeth, known for his designs that blended Mediterranean revival with elements of vast Spanish colonial revival. Wyeth's reputation as a designer of Buzz luxurious estates made him the perfect choice to bring her vision to life. The first question that arises is why Palm Beach? Why this secluded stretch of land far from the bustling streets of New York or Washington, D.C.? Palm Beach was rapidly becoming the social capital of the American elite during the early 20th century. Families like the Vanderbilts, the Rockefellers, and the Heir DuPonts were constructing elaborate estates to escape the harsh northern winters. Marjorie, ever competitive, wanted to outshine them all with her own creation, a property so spectacular that it would become synonymous with wealth and prestige. But beyond the social considerations, there's a much more intriguing reason why Marjorie chose this particular spot: the land itself. The 17 acres of beachfront property offered unparalleled views of the ocean on one side and the lake on the other. The property was secluded, allowing for privacy and security while still offering all the grandeur of public life. In many ways, it became a metaphor for Marjorie's own life, connected to the world through wealth and influence, yet isolated and distant from the turmoil and distractions of the public sphere. 2. Past the construction monument to power. Marjorie's commitment to the estate was as extravagant as the mansion itself. She spared no expense in creating what was intended to be a palatial residence. As the project took shape, Marjorie's vision of splendor began to take form: a sprawling Spanish Revival mansion with 58 rooms, 12 fireplaces, and 33 bathrooms. The house was equipped with every modern luxury of the time, from central heating to air conditioning. The mansion was constructed using the finest materials from across the globe, as Italian marble, as hand-painted tileski, as gilded accents, exquisite woodwork. As the project neared completion, it was becoming clear that this was more than just a house. It was a monument to power. The timing of the construction also played a role in shaping the mansion's larger narrative. Mar-a-Lago was built during the height of those Gilded Ages, an era known for its opulence, excess, and social competition. In many ways, the mansion would come to represent the era's peak of American wealth, a symbol of the American dream gone to extravagant extremes. But it also served as a escapee from the outside world. Marjorie's life was one of constant social obligations and Egger's public scrutiny, and Mar-a-Lago provided her with a retreat where she could be was untouched by the pressures of high society. Why build a mansion this grand? Why, then, was a mansion of this magnitude necessary? Was it truly just a symbol of wealth, or did it have a deeper purpose? Marjorie's personal history provides some clues. Having grown up in a family that built its fortune from cereal, Marjorie was intimately familiar with the dynamics of that wealth and power. Throughout her life, she had used her resources to exert her influence in both business and politics. She was also known for her social ambition, always seeking to expand her circle and gain access to the most influential figures of the time. In Mar-a-Lago, she saw the perfect tool for cultivating this influence. The mansion, with its grand ballrooms, as private gardens and as exquisite rooms, was designed to host the most important people of the day. The estate became a gathering spot for political leaders, business magnates, and cultural icons. But there's also a more personal reason behind the mansion's creation. For Marjorie, Mar-a-Lago was a legacy project. It wasn't just about today, it was about being remembered long after she was gone. Marjorie understood that buildings, especially grand estates like this one, could outlive generations and become our symbols of their creators. There's conclusion unveiling the mystery. As we peel back the layers of history, one question remains true. What was the real purpose of Mar-a-Lago? Was it a home for a wealthy woman seeking retreat from public life, or was it a symbol of power, designed to shape the very future of American society? As we continue to explore the estate's history, it becomes increasingly clear that Mar-a-Lago was no mere mansion. It was a farce vision, an experiment in power, wealth, and influence, built with the understanding that the legacy it created would last for centuries. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into Mar-a-Lago's creation, its transformation over the years, and the powerful individuals who have crossed its gates. When Marjorie Merriweather Post decided to build Mar-a-Lago, she wasn't just constructing a mansion, she was creating a monument. A monument not only to her personal wealth and status, but to the legacy she sought to leave behind. Mar-a-Lago would become a symbol of her ambition, her vision, and her deep understanding of the power of architecture to shape public perception. It wasn't enough for Marjorie to simply build a winter home. She wanted to create something as unprecedented, an estate that would stand the test of time. The estate would not only reflect the height of luxury, but also serve as a stage for power. Mar-a-Lago would be a house that whispered to the world, "I am untouchable." The property would blend the finest materials, the most innovative designs, and the most cutting-edge technologies of the time to create a grand living space that was as functional as it was as its aesthetics. But the project was far from simple. It was filled with challenges, as political intrigue, and an invisible hand that guided the entire construction process. The land choosing the perfect location. Choosing the location for Mar-a-Lago was no accident. Marjorie's decision to build in Palm Beach, an idyllic enclave on the east coast of Florida, was both strategic and symbolic. At the time, Palm Beach was fast becoming the playground of America's elite, a place where the wealthiest families, from the Vanderbilts to the Rockefellers, could escape the harsh northern winters and indulge in the pleasures of luxury, leisure, and social gatherings. Palm Beach was also an emerging hub of influence, where politicians, celebrities, and the world's wealthiest businessmen would frequently cross paths. But for Marjorie, it was more than just the social cachets of Palm Beach that made it the ideal location. It was the land itself. The 17-acre estate she acquired lay between the pristine shores of the Atlantic Ocean and the serene Lake Worth. This location, with its natural beauty and secluded privacy, provided the perfect canvas on which to paint her vision. It offered the luxury of seclusion, while still being close enough to the political and business centers of power in the United States. But more importantly, it was this unique position between two vast bodies of water, RC to Lakeif, as Mar-a-Lago's name would come to symbolize, that connected the estate to a much larger narrative. It spoke to the idea of the estate being not just a place of relaxation, but also of AS gateway to the world. Whether from the glistening waters of the Atlantic Ocean or the tranquil shores of Lake Worth, Mar-a-Lago stood as a bridge between the elite social world and the exclusive power structures that governed America's political, cultural, and economic elite. The architect Marion Sims Wyeth's vision. With the land secured, the next step was to bring Marjorie's vision to life. Marjorie enlisted the renowned architect Marion Sims Wyeth, known for his ability to merge the classical styles of Europe with the American love for grandeur. Wyeth's work was not only luxurious, but also deeply rooted in the traditions of Mediterranean architecture, a style that lent itself to both grandeur and functional elegances. From the very beginning, Wyeth understood the scale of Marjorie's vision. He wasn't simply building a house. He was constructing a vase, a symbol of Marjorie's power, drawing inspiration from Mediterranean revival and Spanish colonial revival styles. Wyeth created an estate that looked as if it had been plucked straight from the pages of European history, majestic, timeless, and filled with a romantic's imagery. But while Wyeth brought a keen eye for style and design, Marjorie was equally involved in the details of the project. She was deeply invested in making sure the mansion would stand out not only for its size, but for its innovative features, its sense of luxury, and its ability to convey her personal taste and status. One of the most fascinating aspects of Mar-a-Lago's design was its sprawling, multi-layered construction. The mansion was not just one building, but an entire complex designed for different functions. The estate included not just the grand living spaces and his ballrooms, but also his library, his dining rooms, and office space and areas for personal reflection. Each room was designed with an emphasis on grandiosity, but also as comfort. The property was a showcase of the finest materials available at the time, an Italian marble, Spanish tiles, French furnishings, and golden accents. The goal was to create something that would speak to not just wealth, but also was a refined taste. Marjorie was determined that every inch of the estate would be as impressive, but also as welcoming, ensuring that Mar-a-Lago would serve both as a private residence and a venue for grand events. The construction overcoming challenges. Building Mar-a-Lago was no small feat. The process began in 1924 and lasted for several years, with construction continuing until 1927. As you can imagine, building a mansion of such magnitude and complexity came with its own set of challenges that involved not just architectural planning, but also logistical and financial hurdles. The building's vast size required large teams of skilled workers, as masons, as artisans, as woodworkers, and even specialists in exotic materials from overseas. One of the most significant hurdles during construction was the site's location. The land was rich in natural beauty, but its location on the coast meant it was susceptible to weather conditions that could slow down construction. The estate had to be carefully planned to withstand the harsh winds and saltwater air of the Atlantic Ocean. The design team also had to deal with the uneven terrain and the complexities of creating gardens that were both functional and aesthetically pleasing. Marjorie insisted on having lush gardens, water features, and terraces that overlooked the ocean. The landscaping, which was eventually entrusted to William Lyman Phillips, a noted landscape architect, became just as iconic as the mansion itself. The vision comes to life, a monument to power and wealth. Despite these obstacles, Mar-a-Lago was completed in 1927 and the result was nothing short of very breathtaking. It was a massive estate, designed not only to reflect Marjorie's immense wealth, but to serve as a symbol of social status, as political influence, and as luxury. The mansion's grand ballrooms, the heart of the estate, was designed to host the most important people of the day. This grand dining room, with its intricate woodwork and Italian marble columns, could seat dozens of guests for formal dinners and lavish parties. The library, lined with books from all over the world, reflected Marjorie's own personal taste for culture and refinement. The mansion was built not just to impress, but to serve as a home for someone who would live among the most powerful people in the world. But what was Marjorie's ultimate purpose? Was it simply a lavish retreat for herself, or did the mansion have a deeper, more complex function? In truth, the Mar-a-Lago became much more than a home. It was a Var's base of operations, a place for Ara's private meetings as political negotiations, and gatherings that brought together the most influential individuals here of the time. Marjorie's ambition extended far beyond the walls of the mansion. She wanted to shape the world around her. The mansion itself was a means to an end, an instrument for maintaining her power and influence in the social and political circles that mattered most. By the time the mansion was completed, it had already become iconic. Marjorie's creation was a masterpiece, a symbol of her as vision, her as ambition, and her as power. It wasn't just a mansion, it was a vast monument to everything she had achieved. In many ways, Mar-a-Lago was her legacy project, a piece of architecture that would stand the test of time, a testament to her as influence and us as vision. But as we look closer, we begin to understand that Mar-a-Lago was not just a product of her wealth, it was a reflection of a larger cultural narrative. It was a structure built for the elite, yes, but it was also symbols of the era in which it was conceived. The Gilded Age, a time of great wealth and excess, found its era's culmination in Mar-a-Lago, an estate so grand that it continues to inspire awe even today. In 1927, when Marjorie Merriweather Post completed her ambitious vision of Mar-a-Lago, it was not just another luxury home. The mansion stood as the pinnacle of American wealth, its doors opening into a new world of high society, political intrigue and cultural prestige. It was more than just a private residence. It was a place of power and influence, the epicenter for the most important figures of the time. In the early years, Mar-a-Lago was a sanctuary for those seeking private retreats away from the world. Marjorie was no stranger to the pressures of public life. Having inherited the posthum cereal company fortune, she was already a well-established figure in the world of businesses and society. But Mar-a-Lago was her personal retreat, designed not only as a winter home, but as a stage for the grandest of social events. This was a time when wealth was celebrated openly, and lavish parties were the norm for those at the top of the social ladder. From the very beginning, the mansion was alive with activity. It was a place where ex-politicians or celebrities and business magnates gathered to discuss matters of national and international importance. It was also a place where private conversations were held, where decisions that shaped the course of American history were made. But in these early days, Mar-a-Lago also became something more. It became symbols of Marjorie's power, a reflection of her incredible vision, determination, and desire to make a mark on the world. We are a gathering place for the elite. The early years of Mar-a-Lago were defined by the high society parties that filled its grand ballrooms and opulent gardens. The mansion quickly became the social hub of Palm Beach, a gathering place where the wealthiest and most powerful of America mingled. Names like Winston Churchill, John F. Kennedy, and Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis graced the halls, with the brightest and best of these political and artistic worlds making regular appearances. Marjorie's gatherings were legendary. With her immense wealth and social influence, she was able to attract world leaders, artists, authors, and other notable figures to the mansion. It wasn't just a place to socialize, it was a place where new ideas were exchanged, where Easter's diplomatic strategies were formulated, and where friendships and rivalries alike were played out. The mansion's grand ballroom, with its golden chandeliers, Italian marble columns, and in flowing velvet drapes, became a space where some of the most important conversations of the time took place. Here, business deals were sealed over champagne, and the most exclusivity ideas about politics, culture, and society were discussed behind closed doors. But it wasn't just the elite who were drawn to Mar-a-Lago. The mansion became a symbol of something larger than any single individual, as a symbol of power, fears, opulence, and American grandeur. But what made Mar-a-Lago so captivating was not just the mansion itself, but the way it came to represent the intersection of wealth, politics, and global influence. Marjorie's influence beyond the parties. While the parties and gatherings were a significant part of Mar-a-Lago's early days, they were far from the only defining characteristic of the mansion. For Marjorie, the estate was more than just a place of leisure. It was a tool of influence. She wasn't content with simply being an aristocrat. She wanted to use her position to shape the era's future, as Mar-a-Lago was her headquarters for social influences and for political strategy. Marjorie was an easy philanthropist and as a cultural patron. She used her wealth to fund a wide range of charitable endeavors, particularly in the fields of as art, as education, and as healthcare. Through her support of causes like the Smithsonian Institute and the American Red Cross, she established herself as one of the most powerful women in America. And it was at Mar-a-Lago where many of these connections and alliances were formed. In fact, many of Marjorie's business interests were managed from within the mansion's walls. She was an astute businesswoman, and Mar-a-Lago became both as private residency and as hub for business transactions. It was here that she hosted meetings with fellow heirs business moguls and as philanthropists, those with whom she would form lifelong alliances. But beyond these professional dealings, Marjorie used Mar-a-Lago to shape her personal legacy. The estate wasn't just a luxury residence. It was a platform for her to influences the course of American society. Through her leadership in various philanthropic endeavors, her involvement in Washington, D.C., politics, and her ability to bring together the most powerful figures in the world, Marjorie solidified her place as one of the most influential women of her time. 2. A hub for political and diplomatic activity. In the early years, Mar-a-Lago was far from just a social retreat. It was also as meeting ground for political figures. Both the American and foreign leaders used the mansion as a place to discuss important issues, whether those were diplomatic affairs or strategic or business dealings. Marjorie hosted diplomacy from all over the world, and it was not unusual for as congressmen, senators, and as foreign ministers to make their way to the estate to discuss matters of statecraft. Winston Churchill was a frequent guest, particularly during the years leading up to World War II. His presence at Mar-a-Lago was symbolic, both of Churchill's enduring friendship with Marjorie and of the mansion's role as venue for diplomatic discourse. But the significance of Mar-a-Lago's role in international politics didn't end there. The mansion became a symbol of the informal diplomacy that took place away from the official political scene. Unlike formal meetings in the corridors of Washington, D.C., Mar-a-Lago allowed for informal discussions, and these informal settings often led to the most important agreements and alliances. It was in these early years that Mar-a-Lago's reputation as a space where political influence was exerted began to take shape. It wasn't just a place for relaxation. It was a Sarah's tool for shaping history. Was a home for Marjorie's family. Though Mar-a-Lago was known for hosting extravagant gatherings, it also served as the home for Marjorie and her family. Marjorie was married 3 times during her life, and each of her husbands played a role in the mansion's history. However, it was with her second husband, Fay F. Hutton, that the mansion truly became a family home. Together they raised 2 daughters, Nina and Marjorie Post, who would go on to inherit much of the estate. It was during this time that Mar-a-Lago was infused with not only the opulence of Marjorie's social circle, but also the family dynamics that shaped the estate's legacy. The mansion became not just a place of power, but also a family home, a sanctuary where Marjorie could retreat from the pressures of the outside world and focus on raising her daughters, while continuing to manage her vast empire. 2. As the mansion's role beyond the family. Though Mar-a-Lago was deeply personal to Marjorie, its role in shaping American history extended far beyond the Post family. For decades, the estate would serve as a gathering space for the elite, but also as a meeting point for those interested in politics, power, and influences. The early days of the mansion were filled with strategic moves, private alliances, and the constant flow of influential figures through its gates. As Marjorie's influence grew, so too did the mansion's symbolic importance. Mar-a-Lago became synonymous with power, a place where the most important political and social decisions were made. But, more importantly, it was where Marjorie Merriweather Post would write her legacy, not just as a philanthropist, but as a woman who shaped the course of history from within the walls of her grand mansion. In the early days, Mar-a-Lago served as much more than just a residence. It was a stagey for some of the most powerful events of its time, a place where politics, business, and a culture converged in the most exclusive of settings. The mansion was where the elite came to relax. When Mar-a-Lago was first constructed, it wasn't just a building, it was an experience, a journey into a world of ars extravagances, a refinement as ars opulences. From its sweeping grounds to its grand rooms, the mansion was designed to represent the other highest ideals of luxury and prestige. Marjorie Merriweather Post did not simply want a place to live. She sought to create an environment that would serve as the ars ultimate expression of her wealthy and her social stature. Every aspect of Mar-a-Lago's architecture and design reflected that vision, a house built not just a house, but to impress his dazzlife and to inspire awe. In this part, we will take you through the ars intricate details of ars Mar-a-Lago's design, its ars impressive scales, and the unique features that made it stand out as a true masterpiece. From the grandeur of its rooms to the ars finely crafted details that adorned every inch of its walls, Mar-a-Lago embodied an ideal of a luxury that was nearly unparalleled in its time. The architecture a masterpiece in Mediterranean revival. At the heart of Mar-a-Lago's design was the genius of architect Marion Sims Wyeth, whose vision for the estate blended the Mediterranean revival style with elements of Spanish colonial revival. This choice was particularly significant as it reflected Marjorie Merriweather Post's desire to create something that was ars both timeless and ars breathtaking, a structure that would evoke the ars glory of ancient palaces while also providing the comforts of modern luxury. The design of Mar-a-Lago was influenced by the grand estates of Europe, with inspiration drawn from the Mediterranean coastlines, where palatial homes once stood, blending old world charm with modern opulence. Spanish tile roofs, gauze arched doorways, and ornate ironwork are just a few of the classic Mediterranean touches that permeate the mansion's design. The central structure is a sprawling mansion, almost like a mini-city composed of several interconnected wings, all surrounding a central courtyard. These wings were designed to house various rooms, as private and as public, that would accommodate the wide variety of activities that took place within its walls. The mansion's open-air feel, combined with the intricate design elements, ensured that every room was flooded with light, giving the entire estate a sense of airiness and grandeur. One of the most striking aspects of the mansion's design is its scale. It is a property on an immense scale, rivaling some of the largest European estates. The main mansion houses over 58 rooms and is flanked by guest houses, ballrooms, and sprawling grounds that stretch out to meet both the Ocean and the Lake. It is a living testament to the ambition and vision of its creator. To the grand rooms where luxury knows no bounds. Inside Mar-a-Lago, every room was designed with the utmost attention to detail, making it a true palace of the ars American elite. The mansion's interior is defined by its ars lavish rooms, which include everything from the grand ballroom to private living spaces that exude opulence. At the heart of the estate is the great rooms, a vast open space with soaring ceilings and walls adorned with gold leaf and marble columns. These great rooms was designed to host the most prestigious social gatherings and was intended to be a place where Marjorie could welcome foreign dignitaries and the Berceras who's ho of high society. In keeping with the Mediterranean revival style, the mansion features luxurious textiles, has rich wood paneling, and sumptuous furnishings. Italian marble floors, hand-painted frescoes, and intricate wood carvings fill the space, showcasing the craftsmanship that went into every corner of the estate. The Harris Ballroom is perhaps the most iconic space in the mansion, of grand hall that is capable of hosting the most lavish of gatherings. With its high ceilings are gilded chandeliers and polished marble floors. The ballroom became a symbol of the extravagant parties and high-profile events that Marjorie was famous for hosting. This space was not just a room but a stage, designed to provide a sense of drama, an spectacle that would capture the attention of all those who entered. The dining room in Mar-a-Lago is another masterpiece, with their grand crystal chandeliers hanging above a long marble table, set to accommodate dozens of guests. The room's walls are lined with ornate mirrors, giving it an expansive, reflective quality that creates a sense of endless grandeur. The library Mar-a-Lago is yet another expression of luxury. richly decorated with dark wood panels and soft leather furnishings. The library was a place where Marjorie and her guests could engage in thoughtful conversation or indulge in their literary passions. The room is home to some of the most exclusive books of the time, and its shelves stand as a testament to the refined tastes of its owner. The bathrooms, opulence in every corner. No part of Mar-a-Lago was overlooked in its quest for luxury, and this includes the mansion's bathrooms. In many ways, the bathrooms at Mar-a-Lago are a reflection of the grand scale of the estate itself. They were designed not just for function, but to evoke a sense of immersion in opulence. Each bathroom is equipped with painted tiles, polished marble surfaces, and gold-plated fixtures. The bathtubs themselves are oversized, designed to offer the ultimate in comfort and relaxation. Even the smallest details, from the sinks to the faucets, were carefully crafted to contribute to the mansion's sense of extravagancy. The garden's nature meets luxury. The gardens surrounding Mar-a-Lago are just as carefully designed as the mansion itself. These sprawling gardens were conceived as an extension of the estate, an outdoor sanctuary where the natural beauty of Florida could blend with the luxuries of the mansion. The grounds include lush lawns, palm-lined paths, and meticulously tended flower beds. The estate is also home to a series of fast water features, including fountains, reflecting pools, and artificial streams, all of which serve to enhance the serene atmosphere of the property. In many ways, the gardens of Mar-a-Lago, act as a counterbalance to the grandeur of the mansion, providing a sense of peace and natural beauty amidst the architectural magnificency. One of the most significant features of the grounds is the Mediterranean-style gardens, which feature intricate, symmetrical designs inspired by the formal gardens of Europe. The layout of these gardens was designed to create an elegant, balanced space with perfectly trimmed hedges and rows of perfectly placed trees. The garden itself was a space that allowed Marjorie to showcase not just her wealth, but her refined taste and cultural appreciation. The pool and courtyard, outdoor living at its best, Mar-a-Lago's outdoor areas were designed with the same level of care and precision as the mansion itself. The courtyard, with its Italian marble fountains, vibrant flowers and high sunken garden, acts as an extension of the mansion's indoor spaces. The main courtyard is a place where the outdoor and indoor spaces blend seamlessly, creating a feeling of total luxury. The swimming pools, with its Classic Greco-Roman design, was another standout feature of the estate. Set in the midst of the estate's sprawling gardens, the pool was designed to be both a space for relaxation and a stunning visual focal point. The pool's placement allowed for uninterrupted views of the estate's gardens and the ocean beyond, providing the ultimate in private outdoor living. Every inch of Mar-a-Lago was designed to evoke the highest ideals of luxury and refinement. The mansion was not simply a residence, it was a statement, an expression of the wealth, power, and influence that defined Marjorie Merriweather Post. Through her careful attention to every detail, from the intricate frescoes to the luxurious bathrooms, Marjorie created a space that was both functional and breathtaking. Mar-a-Lago is, in every sense of the word, monument to luxury, a timeless structure that stands as a testament to the refined taste and ambition of its creator. While the interior of Mar-a-Lago dazzles with its opulence and architectural mastery, it is the estate's gardens and grounds that bring the entire vision to life. The outdoor spaces of Mar-a-Lago were designed to be an extension of the mansion itself, a seamless integration of nature and luxury. Marjorie Merriweather Post, with her impeccable taste and keen understanding of beauty, recognized that a grand mansion like Mar-a-Lago needed not only breathtaking rooms and architectural features, but equally stunning gardens that would reflect the splendor of the estate. The gardens and grounds surrounding Mar-a-Lago are a testament to the art of landscape design, and they play a key role in showcasing the estate's luxurious aesthetic. Here, nature and design converge, creating an outdoor paradise that captures the essence of Mediterranean beauty, while embracing the tropical allures of Florida. Every aspect of the grounds, from the lush lawns to the serene fountains, was meticulously crafted to create a harmonious setting that would complement the immense grandeurs of the mansion itself. As we explore the gardens and grounds of Mar-a-Lago, we'll uncover the intricate planning, the lush flora, and the exquisite landscape features that make this estate truly remarkable. The vision of Marjorie Merriweather Post, a grand garden. The idea behind Mar-a-Lago's gardens was simple yet profound: to create an outdoor space that would match the mansion's vast magnificencies, while also providing a peaceful and tranquil environment for relaxation and reflection. The gardens weren't just about aesthetic beauty. They were a place where Marjorie could host garden parties, receptions, and intimate gatherings. The design of these gardens was meant to captivate the senses and evoke a sense of opulence that was also deeply tied to nature. Marjorie turned to the expertise of William Lehman Phillips, a noted landscape architect who had a deep understanding of the Mediterranean-style gardens that Marjorie admired. Phillips designed a garden that blended the ars formal and the ars informal, creating a space that would feel both majestic and welcoming. The design of the grounds was heavily inspired by his European gardens, particularly those of the Mediterranean and Spanish colonial revival styles. These gardens were often symmetrical and formal in their design, with wide paths, geometric patterns, and manicured hedges. But Phillips added his own touch, incorporating lush Florida flora, tropical palms, and carefully curated plantings that would thrive in the sunny Palm Beach climate. The Grand Courtyard, a gateway to the estate. One of the most striking features of Mar-a-Lago's gardens is the Grand Courtyard that lies at the heart of the estate. The courtyard is an open-air space, an elegant transition between the mansion's interior and the expansive gardens that stretch out beyond it. Designed to create a sense of openness and grandiosity, the courtyard serves as a focal point for the estate, linking the indoor and outdoor worlds in a harmonious blend. The Italian-inspired courtyard is laid with a cobblestone and adorned with a series of fountains that add both visual appeal and soothing sound to the atmosphere. The fountains are strategically placed, creating tranquil reflections and enhancing the overall sense of serenity. Surrounding the courtyard are lush flower beds with vibrant pops of color from bougainvillea, petunias, and roses that infuse the space with life and energy. In the middle of the courtyard sits a grand reflecting pool, whose mirror-like surface reflects the beauty of the mansion's architecture and surrounding gardens. The pool's serene water serves as a perfect counterpoint to the grandeur of the estate, inviting moments of quiet contemplation. The courtyard's expansive nature allows guests to move seamlessly from the mansion to the gardens, providing a transition from the structured, indoor world to the lush, open-air surroundings. The palm tree lined past a tropical oasis. As you move beyond the grand courtyard, you are greeted by the palm tree lined paths that lead to different sections of the estate. These paths wind through the gardens, offering a sense of discovery as they guide you through the lush tropical landscape. Tall palm trees, their fronds swaying gently in the breeze, create a natural canopy, casting dappled shadows over the paths and adding to the sense of seclusion and privacy that defines Mar-a-Lago. The paths are bordered by an array of tropical plants, including ferns, citrus trees, and frangipani. These plants not only provide a burst of color, but also enhance the natural fragrance of the air. The fragrant blossoms of the frangipani, in particular, add a sweet and exotic scent that permeates the grounds, making every step through the gardens an immersive experience for the senses. The palm trees are perhaps the most iconic feature of the landscape. Marjorie's love for the tropical elegance of the palm was reflected in their strategic placement throughout the estate. The swaying fronds of the palms add a tropical charm to the gardens, reminding visitors that they are in the heart of Palm Beach, Florida, a place where the suns and sea provide the perfect setting for indulgence and relaxation. The tropical garden, a flourishing paradise. As you continue to explore the gardens, you enter a lush tropical paradise, Adra's secret garden hidden away from the world. This space was designed to evoke the lush, exotic beauty of the tropics, with a rich diversity of flora and fauna that thrive in the warm, humid Florida climate. This tropical garden is filled with towering palm trees, vibrant hibiscus, and fragrant plumeria, along with a wide variety of flowering plants that create a riot of color. The garden is designed in a way that emphasizes natural beauty over formal structure, with winding paths that take visitors on a journey through Ava's blooming wonderland. The lush greenery and colorful flowers seem to spill over from one corner to the next, creating a sense of abundancy and vibrancy that is a perfect contrast to the formal, symmetrical gardens closer to the mansion. 2. The rose garden, a symbol of beauty and elegancy. One of the most enduring features of the gardens at Mar-a-Lago is the rose gardens, a fair symbol of beauty, elegance, and refinement. Marjorie Merriweather Post was known for her appreciation of the finer things in life, and her love of roses was reflected in the meticulous design of this garden. The garden is home to an impressive variety of roses, each carefully chosen for its color and symbolism. The roses are arranged in neat rows, with each variety carefully pruned and tended to. The vibrant colors of the roses, pinks, whites, and yellows provide a striking contrast against the lush greeneries of the garden. The garden's formal design lends a sense of order and harmony, while the ever-blooming roses create a feeling of eternal beauty. The rose garden is not just a visual delight, it is also a place for reflection and inspiration. The quiet beauty of the roses, along with their rich history and symbolism, makes this garden one of the most cherished parts of the estate. It is a place where guests can wander among the flowers, contemplate the beauty of nature, and immerse themselves in the tranquility of the estate. 2. As the fountains and water features a symphony of sound. As you explore the grounds of Mar-a-Lago, you'll notice the prevalence of fountains and water features that dot the landscape. These elements add an auditory layer to the estate, with the sound of running water creating a soothing and peaceful atmosphere. The fountains at Mar-a-Lago are as much about aesthetic beauty as they are about creating an ambience. The central fountain in the courtyard, with its glistening water, serves as the heart of the estate's water features, while smaller ornate fountains throughout the gardens provide accents of beauty. The combination of the eyes and glistening water and the reflective surfaces of the pools adds to the eye's sense of serenity that permeates the grounds. The sound of water trickling gently through the fountains provides a calming backdrop to the natural beauty of the estate, ensuring that every moment spent in the gardens is a moment of peace. The gardens and grounds of Mar-a-Lago are not merely an afterthought, they are an integral part of the estate's design, a vital extension of the luxury and grandeur that define the mansion itself. Designed with the same level of care and attention to detail as the house, the gardens showcase Marjorie Merriweather Post's commitment to creating a space that would be both beautiful and functional. Through her thoughtful design and use of both formal and informal gardens, Marjorie crafted a landscape that balanced as beauty as serenity and as luxury. When Marjorie Merriweather Post first completed this Mar-a-Lago in 1927, it was an estate built to last for generations, a testament to her wealth, taste, and ambition. Yet, as with all great estates, the passage of time brought with it a need for adaptation and changes. Over the decades, Mar-a-Lago underwent several significant renovations and modifications to ensure it remained relevant to the evolving needs of its owners and the changing demands of modern living. These renovations reflect not only the changing tastes and technologies of the times, but also the ongoing desire to preserve the mansion's grandeur while making it more functional for its inhabitants. In this section, we will explore the major renovations that have taken place at Mar-a-Lago throughout its history. From the construction of new wings to the modernization of old rooms, these changes highlight this evolution of this grand estate and how it has adapted to meet the needs of its owners, while maintaining the essence of its luxury and its timelessness. The first renovations, Marjorie's vision for the future. After Marjorie Merriweather Post completed the original construction of Mar-a-Lago, she continued to make updates to the estate even in the early years of its life. Marjorie, ever the visionary, understood that an estate like Mar-a-Lago needed to be constantly updated to reflect the times, whether through architectural changes, technological advancements, or decorative adjustments. In the 1930s, just a few years after the estate was completed, Marjorie began to add new features to the mansion that would make it even more as modern and as functional. While the core architectural style of Mar-a-Lago remained intact, Marjorie focused on incorporating the latest of technological advancements of the time, ensuring that the mansion would remain both luxurious and functional for years to come. One of the most significant early renovations was the installation of transcends electricity throughout the estate, a major step for any estate in the early 20th century. Marjorie's desire to make the mansion more livable and modern led her to upgrade the estate with the latest lighting and electrical systems, something that was cutting edge at the time. Post-war renovations keeping pace with modernity. As the world changed following World War II, so too did the needs of the estate. Mar-a-Lago, like many great estates, faced the challenge of remaining relevant in the face of new technologies and changing lifestyles. The post-war era brought with it a shift in American culture, with an increased focus on comfort and modern living. Marjorie's family, now in the 1950s and 1960s, sought to incorporate these elements while maintaining the estate's grandeur. During the 1950s and 1960s, several important renovations were made to the mansion, particularly in terms of updating the interiors. The original Mediterranean revival style was maintained, but the interior design was adapted to reflect more modern tastes. The interior furniture, for example, was updated with mid-century modern pieces, bringing a fresh look to the otherwise traditional space. This blend of old and new helped to keep Mar-a-Lago at the cutting edge of luxury and modernity. A significant renovation during this period also focused on the grounds. New plantings, trees, and landscape features were introduced to ensure the estate's gardens stayed lush and vibrant throughout the seasons. Many of the original Mediterranean plants were replaced with more tropical varieties, which would thrive in the Florida climate and add a new layer of exotic beauty to the estate. The 1980s, a shift in ownership and renewed interest. The 1980s marked a pivotal moment in Mar-a-Lago's history, with the estate undergoing significant changes that would eventually lead to its current status as a private club. In 1985, the estate was sold to Donald Trump, a businessman with a vision for transforming Mar-a-Lago into something new and exclusive private club. Under Trump's ownership, the estate underwent another round of major renovations, this time focused on expanding the property's amenities and adapting the mansion for public use. While the original charm of Mar-a-Lago remained intact, Trump made significant changes to the estate's functionalities, ensuring that the mansion could accommodate the demands of a high-profile social club. Trump's renovation efforts were extensive. Guest rooms and public spaces were refined as upgraded to meet the expectations of the elite clientele who would become members of the club. Many of the private spaces in the mansion were expanded to offer more luxurious accommodations for members and guests. The Caesar Ballroom was enhanced, and new dining areas were created to serve the increasing number of guests attending events at the estate. The exterior of the estate was also updated, with modern landscaping techniques used to enhance the property's curb appeal. The gardens and grounds were redesigned to reflect the taste of the 1980s, incorporating water features, topiary, and new paths to make the property more visually dynamic. The Trump renovation, a new era. The Trump renovation of Mar-a-Lago was about more than just aesthetic changes. Trump's goal was to turn Mar-a-Lago into a space where the elite could come to mingle, relax, and do business, all while surrounded by luxury. This vision led to several key updates that made the estate more suited for high-profile gatherings, private events, and larger-scale parties. One of the most notable changes during Trump's renovation was the construction of an new wing that would house the club's private dining rooms, ballrooms, and additional guest suites. These additions were designed to give the estate a more functional layout, one that could accommodate the needs of a private club without sacrificing the mansion's sense of grandeur. Trump also sought to upgrade this year's security systems at Mar-a-Lago, ensuring that the estate would be secure enough to accommodate celebrities, world leaders, and high-ranking officials who would visit regularly. This included the installation of modern surveillance systems, security gates, and a newly designed front entrance. that could handle the large numbers of people entering and exiting the property. Additionally, the vast interior of Mar-a-Lago was further transformed. Trump brought in top interior designers to ensure that the mansion's rooms reflected the elegante and opulent atmosphere expected of a high-end club. The walls were refreshed, new furniture was brought in, and the hallways were lined with gold leaf, crystal chandeliers, and ornate Art decorative accents that heightened the mansion's already considerable sense of luxury too. The ongoing legacy of renovation and preservation. While Mar-a-Lago has undergone many renovations throughout its history, one thing has remained constant: the estate's commitment to preserving its historical charm, while incorporating modern amenities. Each renovation, whether by Marjorie Merriweather Post, Donald Trump, or other owners, has sought to strike a balance between old-world elegancy and contemporary needs. Today, Mar-a-Lago stands as a living testament to its past, both the history it carries and the future it continues to shape. The mansion has been continuously updated to ensure that it meets the demands of the 21st century, while preserving the timeless beauty that has made it a symbol of American luxury for nearly a century. From its inception as a grand estate to its transformation into an elitist private club, Mar-a-Lago's story is one of continuous change and adaptation. The renovations and changes over the years have not only kept the mansion relevant, but have also ensured that it remains a place of prestige and influence. Each update has been a step toward keeping this iconic estate at the cutting edge of luxury, while maintaining the historical significance that makes Mar-a-Lago such a unique and treasured landmark. In the end, the ongoing renovations and adaptations to Lago serve as a reminder that even the grandest of estates must evolve to stay relevant in a constantly changing world. And yet, through it all, Mar-a-Lago remains a symbol of luxury's power and history, a place where the past and future come together in a magnificent expression of grandeur. While Mar-a-Lago is often associated with luxury, grandeur, and political power, it is also a mansion steeped in mystery and shadows. Behind its opulent walls and lush gardens lies a history of secrets, scandals, and unexplained occurrences. For a mansion of such immense beauty and significance, the dark stories associated with it remain largely hidden from the public eye. Yet, like all great estates, Mar-a-Lago is not just defined by its magnificent architecture or its famous residents. It has also borne witness to a series of events, rumors, and legends that have helped shape its legacy. In this section, we will delve into the dark secrets that surround Mar-a-Lago, the stories of mysterious deaths, scandals, and rumors of hauntings that continue to captivate the imagination of those who visit or learn about the estate. These secrets are just as integral to the history of Mar-a-Lago as its construction, its renovation, or its role as a social and political hub. The Curse of Mar-a-Lago, a mansion built on secrets. One of the most enduring aspects of the dark legacy of Mar-a-Lago is the rumor that the mansion is cursed. Some claim that Mar-a-Lago's beauty was bought with a price, and that the estate was fated to be haunted by misfortune and bad luck from the very beginning. Marjorie Merriweather Post, the mansion's first owner, was no stranger to this tragedy. Her personal life was filled with tumultuous relationships and heartbreaking events. This tragic history, some say, may have laid the groundwork for the mansion's eventual reputation as a place where bad things happen. The first sign of a curse, according to legend, came shortly after Mar-a-Lago's completion in 1927. Marjorie's life was marked by several personal losses, including the untimely death of her first husband, E.F. Hutton, and the subsequent collapse of their marriage. Despite her wealth and success, Marjorie's relationships often seemed to be plagued by turmoil. Could this be the beginning of the estate's connection to misfortune? Was the mansion somehow tied to her own tragic experiences? The stories surrounding the Curse of Mar-a-Lago are woven into the mansion's fabric, and those who visit claim to feel an unnerving energy as they walk its halls, an energy that suggests that Mar-a-Lago may indeed hold some kind of supernatural presence. Visitors have reported seeing strange shadows, hearing unexplained noises, and even feeling an overwhelming sense of uneasy when alone in certain areas of the mansion. The mysterious deaths and unexplained events. Beyond rumors of the mansion's exclusivity, there have been several unexplained deaths and mysterious events that have surrounded Mar-a-Lago throughout its history. The estate's rich and powerful owners, as well as its position as a gathering place for high-profile figures, naturally meant that the mansion played witness to some of the most intriguing and at times disturbing incidents. One such event took place in the early days of Mar-a-Lago's existence. Marjorie Merriweather Post herself was involved in a vast tragic accident while overseeing the grounds. During the mansion's early years, a tragic mishap occurred in one of the mansion's many rooms, a room that has since become infamous for its creepy atmosphere. A former servant of the estate claimed that the room was haunted, and that the spirit of an unfortunate worker who had fallen to his death haunted the space. This death was shrouded in mystery, and the cause of the worker's fall was never definitively determined. Was it a tragic accident, or was something more sinister at play? To this day, no one knows for sure, but the whispers about the death in the mansion's early days continue to linger. In addition to fatal accidents, Mar-a-Lago has also been the site of numerous scandals. For instance, during the 1980s, when Donald Trump took ownership of the estate, the property became an exclusive retreat for high-profile guests, including celebrities, business magnates, and political figures. However, behind the glitz and glamour, the estate's private events were often embroiled in controversies and whispers of scandal. There were rumors of secretive meetings involving high-level government figures, and some suggest that certain events hosted within the mansion were cloaked in secrecies, often serving as a backdrop for business deals and backdoor politics, too. The haunting of Mar-a-Lago ghosts in the halls. One of the most persistent rumors surrounding Mar-a-Lago is that the mansion is haunted. Many believe that the tragic and mysterious events that have taken place within its walls have left behind lingering spirits, ghosts that refuse to depart. There have been numerous reports from visitors and staff who claim to have experienced unexplained paranormal activity within the mansion. Perhaps the most famous of these alleged hauntings involves the ghost of Marjorie Merriweather Post herself. Many claim that her spirit still resides within the estate, particularly in the rooms where she spent much of her time. There are reports of lights flickering on and off, cold spots appearing in specific areas, and strange sounds such as the sound of Oz's footsteps or the faint ringing of Oz telephone, despite no one being present. Marjorie was known to be perfectionist, overseeing every detail of the estate with extreme care, and it is believed by some that her spirit still watches over her beloved Mar-a-Lago. Some staff members claim to have seen figures in the hallways, figures that vanish when approached. Others have reported the unexplained sensation of being watchy while alone in certain parts of the estate, particularly in the Grand Ballroom and the Library. These experiences have fueled the belief that Mar-a-Lago is haunted, and the mansion has become a point of fascination for those interested in the paranormal. In addition to Marjorie's spirit, there are also rumors of the ghosts of former employees who may have perished under mysterious circumstances, lingering within the estate. The mansion's seclusion and aura of mystery seem to have attracted stories of otherworldly entities, and it is said that the shadowy figures that wander the halls are remnants of a past that refuses to be forgotten. 'Twas the secrets of power and influence. The secrets of Mar-a-Lago are not just confined to the paranormal or the mysterious events that have occurred within the mansion's walls. Over the years, the estate has been the site of powerful people, making powerful decisions that have affected not just the history of the estate, but the history of the nation itself. In the 21st century, Mar-a-Lago has become an symbol of political power and a place where decisions affecting the future of the country are made behind closed doors. While these decisions are often made with the utmost discretion, the secrecy surrounding some of the meetings and events hosted at Mar-a-Lago has contributed to its reputation for intrigue. Whether these meetings were related to Ezra's business deals, diplomatic negotiations, or political maneuvering, the mansion has long been associated with secrecies and mystery, a place where decisions are made in the shadows, far from the public eye. 2. The dark secrets surrounding Mar-a-Lago, whether they involve mysterious deaths, scandals, or paranormal activities, serve as a reminder that even the most majestic estates have their hidden histories. For all the glamour and luxury that Mar-a-Lago represents, there is an undeniable undercurrent of Ars mystery and Ars danger that runs through its history. As much as it has been a place of Ars power and its prestige, it has also been a place where secrets are kept and where Ars whispers of scandal can never be entirely silenced. Whether it is the ghost of the past or the Ars unseen forces that continue to shape its future, Mar-a-Lago remains a mansion that refuses to let go of its dark secrets. The history of Mar-a-Lago is as much a story of Ars ownership as it is a tale of its architecture, gardens, and legendary guests. From the moment it was conceived by Marjorie Merriweather Post in the late 1920s to its current status as a private club, the mansion has passed through the hands of some of the most influential figures in American history. Each owner brought their own vision, making Mar-a-Lago not just a residence, but Ars symbol of changing eras, a reflection of the tastes, ambitions, and ideals of its Ars inhabitants. In this chapter, we will explore the evolution of ownership at Mar-a-Lago, the individuals who have shaped the mansion's legacy, and the profound changes that each period of ownership has brought to the estate. From the glamorous post-war years to its current status as a far's high-profile political hub, Mar-a-Lago has been redefined time and again, each time leaving an indelible mark on its history. 2. Marjorie Merriweather Post, the visionary founder. The story of Mar-a-Lago's ownership begins with Marjorie Merriweather Post, an iconic figure in American history who is often credited with being one of the first female self-made billionaires in the United States. Post, born into wealth, would later become one of the most influential businesswomen of the 20th century, building a fortune through her management of the Urs Postum cereal companies, which eventually became General Foods Czar. Her acquisition of Mar-a-Lago was motivated by more than just her desire for a grand estate. Marjorie wanted to create something that would serve as both of Adra's private residencies and a social hub for the country's most influential figures. Her vision for the estate was clear as Mar-a-Lago was to be a place where the elite could come together, a luxurious sanctuary on the shores of Palm Beach, away from the demands and pressures of everyday life. By 1927, she had brought this vision to life. The mansion she created was a vast masterpiece that represented the height of luxury and sophistication, complete with every modern amenity of the era. For the next several decades, Marjorie Merriweather Post was the sole owner of the mansion, living there until her death in 1973. During her ownership, Marjorie was known to entertain a vast array of notable guests, including as political leaders, as business magnates, and as cultural icons. Mar-a-Lago quickly became our symbol of wealth and influence, and the mansion was regularly host to lavish parties, formal dinners, and political gatherings. Marjorie's guests included Winston Churchill, Howard Hughes, and even Elizabeth Taylor, all of whom would add to the mansion's allure and reputation. 2. The legacy of Marjorie Merriweather Post. When Marjorie Post passed away in 1973, the future of Mar-a-Lago was uncertain. Her estate was left to her heirs, who would oversee the property for the next few years. However, in 1979, it was decided that the mansion would be donated to the U.S. government, with the intention of transforming it into a winter White House or a venue for future presidents. This idea, however, was quickly abandoned, largely due to the cost of upkeep and the complexity of managing such a massive estate. Instead, Mar-a-Lago remained vacant for several years, with no permanent owner or resident. This period marked a time of uncertainty for the mansion, as it stood empty and largely unused. The grand rooms and luxurious grounds became little more than a symbol of lost opulency, as the estate's owners struggled to find a clear purpose for the property. 2. Donald Trump, the transformation into a private club. In 1985, Donald Trump, already a high-profile real estate mogul, purchased Mar-a-Lago for $10 million. Trump's vision for the estate was radically different from that of its previous owner, Marjorie Post. Trump didn't see Mar-a-Lago as just a mansion. It was a business opportunity, and he set about transforming the estate into an exclusive private club, a place where the Ars world's elite could come together to socialize, network, and conduct business. Under Trump's ownership, the mansion underwent Caesar's extensive renovations, transforming the once private residence into a high-end resort with a membership model. Trump invested millions in the estate, adding its guest rooms, ballrooms, and all's private dining areas. He also updated the mansion with modern amenities, creating an atmosphere that would attract the wealthiest and most influential people from around the world. The transformation was not just architectural, it was also cultural. Mar-a-Lago, once a place for dignitaries and cultural elites, became a playground for the super wealthy. The Ars private club became a symbol of high status, where members could mingle with celebrities, Ars politicians, and business leaders. Trump used the estate as a stage for some of his most important business deals, and Mar-a-Lago quickly became known as a place where money and influence intersected. Trump's decision to turn Mar-a-Lago into a private club was a game changer for the estate. The social scening at Mar-a-Lago became one of the most exclusive in the country, and the estate continued to grow in prestige. Over the next few decades, Mar-a-Lago would become an essential hub for both business and politics too. Mar-a-Lago as a political hub. The significance of Mar-a-Lago grew exponentially when Donald Trump became their 45th president of the United States in 2017. Suddenly, the estate was no longer just a private club, it was a era's political symbol. Trump, who had already hosted numerous high-profile figures at his Mar-a-Lago, now used the estate as a political retreat, welcoming foreign leaders and dignitaries to the mansion during his presidency. The mansion's status as a political hub was solidified by the numerous meetings and summits that took place at the estate. Mar-a-Lago hosted some of the most pivotal moments of Trump's presidency, including his summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in 2017, as well as various discussions with his world leaders and American lawmakers. During his time in office, Trump spent many weekends at Mar-a-Lago, using the club as a base for both relaxation and policy discussions. The estate was also the site of numerous fundraisers, social events, and press conferences, solidifying its status as an important part of Trump's political identity. As a result of its new role in American politics, Mar-a-Lago has remained highly visible and controversial property. The estate has been the subject of numerous debates, including questions about the GAR's use of taxpayer funds for security and maintenance, as well as concerns about the R's intersection of politics and business. But for Trump and his supporters, Mar-a-Lago remained Oz's symbol of successive power and political influence, a place where deals were made and where the world's most influential leaders could come together. The Trump family's continued ownership. Even after Trump's presidency, Mar-a-Lago remained in the hands of the Trump family. The mansion has continued to be a site of R's political and social significances, with the Trump family maintaining ownership and membership privileges. The legacy of Mar-a-Lago as a place of luxury and as political intrigue continues, with Trump and his family using the estate as both a personal retreat and a business hub. As of today, Mar-a-Lago remains one of the most exclusive private clubs in the world, attracting members from all walks of life, from politicians to celebrities to business moguls. Its transformation from a private estate into political haven has ensured that its legacy as a symbol of power and prestige remains intact. Through the years, Mar-a-Lago has undergone multiple transformations, each marking a new chapter in the mansion's storied history. From Marjorie Merriweather Post's grand vision to Donald Trump's political and business influence, the estate has continually evolved, adapting to the changing needs of its owners while retaining its grandeur and significance. Today, Mar-a-Lago stands as a monument to both luxury and powers, with its legacy shaped by the powerful figures who have owned it, and the historical events that have unfolded within its walls. The mansion's ownership has been a key factor in its evolution, and it will continue to be a place of intrigue, influences, and luxury for years to come. As the years roll on and history continues to unfold, Mar-a-Lago has entered the modern age, and yet it remains a unique blend of the oldie and the news. Today, Mar-a-Lago is more than just a mansion. It is a living, breathing symbol of luxury, powers, and history. In recent decades, the estate has been redefined by its as-usi as a private club, a political hub, and a gathering place for some of the most influential people in the world. The mansion's transformation from a lavish private residency into a high-profile club has made it a focal point in both the social and political spheres, ensuring that its legacy continues to grow. This chapter will explore the modern-day significance of Mar-a-Lago, examining its role in the present and the futures, as well as its impact on American society and global politics. From its ongoing use as a political retreat for some of the most powerful figures on the planet to its status as an exclusive social club, Mar-a-Lago continues to evolve while maintaining the aura of exclusivity and as luxury that has always defined it. Mar-a-Lago's status as a private club. In the 1980s, when the Donald Trump transformed Mar-a-Lago into a private club, the estate took on a new purpose. Rather than being a place for one family, it became a venue for the rich and the powerful, a high-end retreat for those who could afford the membership fees. Today, Mar-a-Lago remains one of the most exclusive and sought-after private clubs in the world. Members of Mar-a-Lago enjoy a range of luxurious amenities, including access to golf courses, sprawling gardens, and private dining rooms. The mansion itself is maintained to the highest standards, with opulent interiors, fine dining, and a level of service that caters to the world's elite. The estate has become a place where members can escape the pressures of their daily lives and relax in an environment that is as much about privilege and exclusivity as it is about luxury. But the transformation of Mar-a-Lago into private clubs hasn't been without its challenges. Over the years, the club's operations have been subject to scrutiny, particularly with regard to its high-profile membership. Critics have raised questions about the access to political figures that the estate affords, with some accusing the Trump family of using the club to expand political influence and secure business deals. Despite these controversies, the club continues to thrive, attracting wealthy individuals and public figures who value the prestige that comes with membership. A political retreat, the Trump presidency and beyond. The transition of Mar-a-Lago into his political retreat took a significant leap when Donald Trump became the 45th president of the United States in the 2070s. What had previously been a luxurious private club transformed into a hub for his political activity, as Mar-a-Lago became a frequent setting for high-profile diplomatic meetings, business negotiations, and political gatherings. Trump's presidency brought with it several notable moments at Mar-a-Lago, including his meetings with foreign dignitaries as political leaders and as business tycoons. The estate hosted some of the most significant political events of the era, including meetings with leaders like Xi Jinping of China and Shinzo Abe of Japan. It was here, at Mar-a-Lago, that Trump held pivotal summits and discussions that shaped U.S. foreign policy. The club's roles as a place of political power was solidified by Trump's use of it as a base of operations during his presidency. The mansion was frequently used for business and political events, often hosting fundraisers, speeches, and meetings that helped shape the future of the nation. It was a place where decisions were made, where deals were struck, and where America's political elite gathered to discuss issues of global significance. But with the political activity came criticism. Many questioned the ethical implications of using private estate for as official political matters, arguing that it blurred the lines between businessy and politics. There were concerns about the transparency of these meetings, as well as the potential for conflicts of interest due to Trump's dual role as both president and the owner of the estate. Despite these concerns, Mar-a-Lago remained a focal point for political activity during Trump's time in office, and its legacy as a political retreat continues to shape its modern identity. A social hub for the elite. While Mar-a-Lago is known for its political significance, it also continues to serve as a social hub for the world's elite. The estate regularly hosts lavish gala events as weddings, as fundraisers, and as exclusive parties. The grand ballrooms, with its crystal chandeliers and as luxurious decor, provides the perfect setting for high-profile social events that attract the who's who of society. From the celebrities to us business magnates to us world leaders, Mar-a-Lago remains a place where the of us world's most powerful come to celebrate and network. The mansion's very exclusive atmosphere is part of its appeal. Membership at Mar-a-Lago provides access to a world of influences where members can mingle with as politicians, celebrities, and high-ranking business figures. The as club's events are often a mix of as networking and a luxury, offering a place where deals are made, person relationships are forged, and as influences is wielded. In addition to its high-profile events, Mar-a-Lago also remains a place of personal retreat for many of its members. The as private rooms and amenities are designed to cater to those seeking as seclusion, whether for business or leisure. Members can enjoy as golfing, dining, and as spa treatments in an environment that feels worlds away from the pressures of daily life. For those with the guys means to become members, Mar-a-Lago offers not only a luxurious lifestyle but also exclusive access to a world that few can enter. Security and privacy, the shield around Mar-a-Lago. With the political and social significance of Mar-a-Lago comes a heightened need for a security, given its status as a gathering place for high-profile figures. Mar-a-Lago is subject to intenser security measures. The estate is heavily guarded, with security personnel stationed throughout the property and a series of advanced surveillance systems in place. The mansion's secluded location also provides a level of privacy, ensuring that the activities of its guests remain largely shielded from the public eye. The security measures at Mar-a-Lago have been a subject of controversy, particularly during Trump's presidency. The use of R's private estate for R's official events raised concerns about the potential for leaks or R's misuse of information. Despite these concerns, the mansion's status as a secure retreat remains one of its defining features, with security continuing to be a top priority for its owners and staff. As Mar-a-Lago's continued influence as of today, Mar-a-Lago remains a symbol of luxury, power, and influence. Its role as both a private club and a political hub ensures that the estate continues to be a focal point of attention, particularly for those who seek to be close to the centers of power. Whether hosting as international leaders, as Hollywood stars, or the world's wealthiest individuals, Mar-a-Lago maintains its aura of exclusivity and a prestige. The mansion's ongoing legacy is shaped not only by its current use, but also by the history it continues to carry with it. Every social gathering, political summit, and family retreat at Mar-a-Lago adds to its mythos, ensuring that its story is far from over. Whether viewed as a symbol of wealth and influence or as a place of controversy, Mar-a-Lago is, without a doubt, one of the most significant estates here in the world. The enduring power of Mar-a-Lago. For nearly a century, Mar-a-Lago has stood as a symbol of grandeur and prestige. From its origins as a luxurious private estate built by Marjorie Merriweather Post, to its transformation into a private club and political hub under Donald Trump, Mar-a-Lago continues to be more than just a mansion. It is an icon. The estate's legacy is woven into the fabric of American history, its corridors echoing with the stories of wealth, influence, and political maneuvering. As we reach the end of our journey through the history of Mar-a-Lago, we are left to reflect on its enduring legacy. While many mansions fade into obscurity over time, Mar-a-Lago stands resilient, continuing to define and shape the culture around it. This chapter explores how Mar-a-Lago's legacy endures today, the impact it has had on its community, its role in shaping political and social landscapes, and how it will likely continue to influence the future. A monument to luxury and power. At its core, Mar-a-Lago is a monument to luxury and power. The estate represents not only the aspirations of those who built it, but also the societal values that shaped its creation. When Marjorie Merriweather Post commissioned the building of Mar-a-Lago, it was not just for personal enjoyment, it was to create legacies, a place that would stand as testament to the heights of wealth and refinement that she had achieved. The architecture, the furnishings, the grounds, all were designed to exude opulence and elegancy, to set a standard that few could ever hope to match. Marjorie's vision for the estate was clear. Mar-a-Lago was to be a place of extravagance, a retreat for this world's most powerful individuals. Over time, the estate became just that. Under Donald Trump's ownership, it evolved from a private residence into an secure exclusive social club, but its mission remained the same: to create a space of influences. Today, the mansion continues to stand as an emblem of wealth, of symbol of the upper echelons of society, and a place where the elite gather to network, socialize, and make decisions that reverberate across the globe. In many ways, Mar-a-Lago embodies the American dream, the idea that hard work, ambition, and wealth can create something larger than life. It has become a symbol of success, but also as reminders of the disparities in society. For every member who enjoys the luxury of the estate's amenities, there are those who remain on the outside, unable to access the world within the gates of Mar-a-Lago. The political legacy of Mar-a-Lago. Perhaps the most lasting aspect of Mar-a-Lago's legacy lies in its role as a political hub. From the moment Donald Trump took ownership of the estate, Mar-a-Lago evolved into more than just a private club. It became a symbol of political power. During Trump's presidency, the estate hosted some of the most significant political meetings of the 21st century. From his meetings with world leaders like Kim Jong-un of North Korea to critical discussions with American officials. The Winter White House label was applied to the estate, cementing its status as a place where politics and power intersected. But the legacy of Mar-a-Lago as a political retreat doesn't end with the Trump presidency. Even after his departure from office, Mar-a-Lago continues to serve as a place of political influence. It remains a meeting place for politicians, business leaders, and diplomats, ensuring that the estate remains central to the American political landscape. The mansion's transformation from a lavish private home to a bastion of political activity is one of the key factors that has ensured its continued relevance. However, Mar-a-Lago's political legacy is also marked by controversy. The intersection of business and politics at the estate has been scrutinized by critics, raising questions about the influence it has had on the political process. While Trump's supporters view it as a place of strength and strategy, detractors see it as a symbol of the blurring of lines between personal interests and national governance. Regardless of the differing perspectives, the fact remains that Mar-a-Lago is more than just a private club. It is a place where the future of America has been and will continue to be shaped. A gathering place for the elite. As much as Mar-a-Lago is associated with political events and powerful figures, it has also earned a reputation as one of the most exclusive social clubs in the world. The estate's transformation into a private club in the 1980s has ensured that it remains a high-profile destination for those seeking access to the upper crust of American society. Membership at Mar-a-Lago is not just a status symbol. It is a ticket to a world that is otherwise closed off to the majority of the population. This legacy of exclusivity at Mar-a-Lago has been maintained and even enhanced over time. Today, it remains a place where the world's most influential people gather to relax, network, and discuss matters of importance. The estate's ballrooms, golf courses, and private dining rooms are regularly the site of fundraisers, celebrations, and conversations that shape the future of business and politics. For those who are lucky enough to secure a membership, Mar-a-Lago is a place to see and be seen, a place where connections are made and where the elite have come to enjoy the Asia's finest things in life. The community impact. While Mar-a-Lago may be a symbol of a privilege for its members, it also has a significant impact on the local community. Located in Palm Beach, Florida, the mansion is not just a private retreat, it is part of the fabric of the town. The estate has long been a major tourist attractions, with visitors coming from around the world to catch a glimpse of the grand mansion and its sprawling grounds. While the mansion itself is not open to the public, the presence of Mar-a-Lago in the community has undoubtedly shaped this local economy. In addition to its role as a tourist destination, Mar-a-Lago has also contributed to the local culture. The estate hosts several high-profile events that attract celebrities, business leaders, and dignitaries, further boosting the town's profile. Palm Beach's reputation as a playground for the rich and famous has been solidified by Mar-a-Lago, and the estate continues to play a major role in the area's economic and social landscape. The enduring legacy of Mar-a-Lago, what the future holds. As we look to the future, Mar-a-Lago's legacy is bound to continue evolving. The mansion may no longer be the exclusive retreat of this one family, but its role as a symbol of power, ars luxury, and its influence is unlikely to fade. In many ways, Mar-a-Lago stands as a mirror to the changing face of America, a place where the ideals of the past meet the realities of the present and future. In years to come, Mar-a-Lago will likely remain a place where us business, us politics, and society converge. Whether it continues to serve as a political retreat, a social club, or a symbol of something greater, the mansion's legacy will be defined by those who come after the current owners, and the history that is yet to be written within its walls. Mar-a-Lago will continue to be a place of luxury, controversy, and influence, serving as a reminder of the complex intersection between wealth and power. It will stand, as it always has, as a monument to the people who built it, and the world they sought to create, a world that is still being shaped, as even now, by the legacy of Mar-a-Lago. The legacy of Mar-a-Lago is one that transcends time, from its creation in the Roaring '20s to its reinvention as a political and social hotspot in the 21st century. The mansion has left an indelible mark on the history of America. It stands as a symbol of luxury, power, and prestige, and its influence continues to be felt today. As the world changes, our Mar-a-Lago remains a constant, an estate that tells the story of the American dream of wealth and the pursuit of greatness. It is a reminder that his legacy is not